Welcome to Nerd Alert, everyone. I am happy to see you back on the ship. Once again, I am joined by a brand new guest. It is Ashley Victoria Robinson.
That's me.
You are the co-writer of Jupiter Jet, along with our friend Jason Inman.
Yes.
And you are the host of Geek History Lesson, which is a podcast you can listen to a lot of right now.
Yes, we have 217 episodes, so please go and listen to it and then tweet us and tell us how much you want Kim to guest on it.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, tell her. But we're going to get into our first story, which is, it's not really a geek history lesson. It's more of a review of the brand new Marvel movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So this movie came out for the press this week, and embargo dropped. We can talk about it. I don't want to do too many world-shattering spoilers in this because people haven't seen it yet. But this movie is pretty, in my opinion, pretty straightforward, very light fare, very summary. I mean, we're coming off the heels of Infinity War and Black Panther, which were big movies. This one feels very light in comparison to me.
And it doesn't feel like it has anything to say in the way that Black Panther, even though it is a straightforward origin, has a lot to say. This is a continuation of a story that we saw laid out before. We do get to see a lot of really interesting character growth, and I think that's the best part of the movie, is how they've evolved from the first Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, the first one did a few things that were disappointing to me, which was I felt the Wasp felt more like she deserved to have the spotlight on her.
Absolutely.
She is more qualified. She is very smart. But what they did to her in the first one was they gave her that haircut, the very severe bangs.
It was a wig.
It always signals, of course it was a wig.
And it wasn't even a good one.
But it always signals, like when you see that haircut, oh, I'm not supposed to like her. She's bad. She's just going to be high maintenance and blah, blah, blah. And I wish they hadn't done that. But they did make her more of a real person in this one and more believable in her motivations. I think it came out in the trailers, but she's looking for her mother in the quantum realm.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
Okay. Well, you know, Ant-Man did go to the quantum realm in the first one. And she's exploring that idea because now they know, oh, you can come back. And she might be down there. We could go save her.
And I love the delving into the pseudoscience that we get in the Marvel Universe because that's such a big part of the founding of that universe, especially with like Fantastic Four, even though they're not involved in the cinematic universe. Come on, guys, Phase 4, we need it to happen.
I think maybe that'll happen after Avengers 4. We'll see.
I really hope so. I loved that. I don't think this is a major spoiler, that we got to see more of the quantum realm and exactly what it was about and how you work there and time dilation. It feels very Star Trek to me, which is something that I thought was really great.
Yes. I mean, at that same note, though, they also kind of underwrote themselves, where we'd have Hope and Hank Pym and some other people talking about very theoretical terms, and then Paul Rudd just goes, "You're just saying quantum a lot.
Right.
What's that about?" And it's like, well, I wish you wouldn't.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Kind of in that Thor vein of like science, science, but it's really magic.
What they do so often in this is they don't let things have a moment. It always has to be undercut by some wry or witty reference, some kind of joke. And I wish they would just let it sit. Not everything has to be hilarious. That said, it was pretty funny. It did have a lot of moments. If you liked the humor in the first one, you will not be displeased with the humor in this one.
I definitely think fans of Thor Ragnarok and the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise are going to line up and really enjoy this movie.
I feel like Star-Lord and Ant-Man have a lot in common, where they're just kind of dummies.
Who wins in a fight?
Who are there, who always win. And that's not my favorite thing about them personally.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Scott Lang is my favorite Ant-Man from the comics. I think Paul Rudd does a good job in this movie, and the Wasp is a better character. That's what it comes down to, and she's great in the movie.
Yeah, she did get a lot more. However, I mean, when we're looking at the villains, there isn't really a clear villain. There's like two so-so villains.
Kind of bad guys, yeah.
Like you can see where they're coming from, and you know, one of them's a little bit thin on what they're doing there.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
It just continues the Marvel trend of having a not great villain in the wake of like Loki and Killmonger.
I mean, I remember Yellow Jacket, but also I don't really remember Yellow Jacket.
Oh, what a wasted casting.
Very pointless, you know? He didn't have that kind of three-dimensional rather, likability where you can almost empathize with them. And it was just like, oh, you're a jerk. Okay.
Yeah, and this movie has 6 writers credited, and I think when you watch it, you can see the 6 plots kind of dovetailing, and it doesn't always work, but when it does work, it really works.
So overall, I thought it was fine. It wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't terrible. It was fun. It was funny. It's what a summer movie is probably good to be. I would give it maybe 7, 7.5.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
I'd agree with that. A solid B, but in the wake of Black Panther and Infinity War, it doesn't mean as much as those 2 movies did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not up there with Wonder Woman. You made it to the end of a video. That's great. Wow, Ferris Bueller was kind of a jerk because I personally love that you did this. Hit subscribe for more fun and no bathrobe lectures.